Okay, so here I've got the gas tank well cleaned out and I prepped it a little bit for paint. And in cases like this where I've got some surface rust and I just want something to cut the rust, I like using an undercoat product. Rust-Oleum has a nice undercoating paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask this off a little bit and I'm just going to spray this so I have something just to cover the rust. And I've also taken an angle grinder and polished the areas where I plan to weld my motor mounting plate in. So now I'm just test fitting my motor again. I took the muffler off just so I have a little more room to work. And I've got my mounting plate centered over the well, and that looks like it's going to be about the exact location that I want, which means that the pulley on the crankshaft is going to be pretty much centered on that shaft, which is a great location. Otherwise I'll pull this motor out and I'll get the welder ready. So I'm about ready to weld in the mounting plate. You can see I've got it clamped in place. I've got the lower well painted with my undercoat, which actually looks a lot better than it did before. And as far as welders, I've got a Hobart 190. I'm by no means a fantastic welder, but I do enjoy welding, and I've done a few projects. Maybe in a later video I'll show how I made this welding cart using a US General tool cart. But the next step is to weld it in place. Well, how did I do? I feel like that was a pretty good weld for a guy like me. Structurally sound and looks pretty good too. Doesn't look like dog poop like a lot of my welds do. Okay, well, that job is done. The next thing, I'll probably throw a little bit of paint over this plate, and then in the next couple of days I've got some parts coming for my motor, as well as a new pulley for the crankshaft, and also my external gas tank. So within the next few days I should be able to get a motor in here, and the nice thing about this motor is that it does have a pull start, so throw some gas in it and I might be running here in a couple of days. So a final thought before I close this video. I've got some paint on the mounting bracket, and I'd say it turned out pretty good. At least it looks like it's meant to be there. This project actually reminds me of a lot of the go-kart projects that my son and I did as he was growing up. So it's been a lot of fun up to this point. So I made some good progress, and I'm satisfied so far. And like I said before, I've got some parts on the way, and it'll go together pretty quick from here, I think.